Hello, bonjour. Hello, Malcolm Nance.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Hi,
Oh,
Malcolm
Je suis
Nance.
dans Paris.
Come
I'm in
home.
Paris, y'all.
Come
Hashtag
home.
Nance in Paris.
It's
No, hells
come
no.
home. It's worse than ever.
he's gonna stay over there. He doesn't want to come back.
Oh my
I'll
God.
tell you. Well, you know what? Just like the old OSS of old, I've dropped into Europe to mobilize the forces behind enemy lines, and I'm going to have to do it to drinks again.
Oh my
So,
God.
God, I'm getting Supreme Court justice drunk over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Malcolm, you honestly feel like this can't get worse every day, and then we are watching as a nation this complete fraud. As revealed by the New York Times, mocking a sexual assault victim to the cheers of his crowd last night. I mean, I don't know what. It's something beyond rage, isn't it? At this point.
It is. And what we should be turning to and everybody should be feeling is a fear based on rage. And you justifiably have a right to feel that way. I know people last night we had a pretty good turnout of Americans and British equally at this event that was sponsored by Democrats abroad. And people said, "I feel afraid. What should I do?" Well, that fear should mobilize you. It should motivate you. But we're getting to a very dangerous place. I don't want to come off as conspiratorial or any of that stuff. We have never sunk to these lows in American history. Even with the Civil War, when they went to guns, they had some principles around it. There are no principles around what's happening today other than that they are mobilizing a base to operate and quote unquote govern on hatred. And that, I feel so bad for Dr. Ford because she
Yeah.
said the thing that upset her the most was that she could remember was the laughing. And here Donald Trump literally mocks her and then has all these people laugh at her. He knew what he was doing. He
Yeah.
knows what he's saying. And you know what? He said even worse at that rally the other day.
Yeah. I mean, Malcolm, honestly, I think we've all said this. We know that the degree of rage is not healthy. I can only imagine what this is physically and emotionally doing to a lot of people around the country. I know what it's doing to me, but it's like you keep saying, we have got to do whatever we can to not get exhausted, to self-care, and to get to the midterms, and not just a blue wave, right? We need a blue tsunami.
Yes, we do need a blue tsunami. And I mean, this has got, they're mobilizing themselves too. All of these rallies that he's doing, Donald Trump has never stopped campaigning. And these rallies are designed to stoke up that hatred and stoke up that fear. And I haven't seen stuff like this since Saddam Hussein and, the Ceausescu's of Romania. I don't know if anybody saw my Twitter feed. I retweeted the video from the new president of Turkmenistan, and he has one of these Kim Jong Un, Saddam Hussein rallies where he announced that he's getting rid of all subsidies of food, water, gasoline, and home heating oil, which means every person in that country goes poor instantly. And these people were standing there clapping in unison and saying, "We praise you." Hey, Trump wants that. And his rallies are designed to be like that. The question is he really? I can't decide whether he will do something violent with this. I don't doubt for a minute that he would if it would benefit him.
Well,
He
you
wouldn't if it
you
would benefit
tweeted
him.
warning Trump's eliminationist rhetoric is dangerous indicator of a dictator when he said the Democrat Party has become too extreme and too dangerous to be trusted with power. I mean, talk about turning the gaslighting up to 11. It's Democrats that
No.
are mean and nasty and would do anything for power. Here we are
Yeah.
watching someone who conspired with a hostile foreign government to get power, who is saying he's in love with Kim Jong Un and mocking an American victim of sexual assault. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
That statement right there is the sleeper statement of this year. The way he uses projection. I've said this before. If people are not out in the Midwest and you're living on one of the two coasts, there are TV commercials playing all over the rural parts of the United States that show liberals rioting
Yeah.
and that these anarchists are out there and the intifada or whatever you call them, right? Antifa are rampaging, and they're putting this cartoon TV commercial image of what liberals are supposed to be, which are these armed, rambunctious people destroying property. These, I still see these. These aren't political ads. These are like public service announcements that they put out. I was just in St. Louis, they had it there. And this image is in their mind. And you see on the internet where they say to each other eliminationist rhetoric, which is words where they talk about getting together and taking care of the liberals. When Trump said that, that is no longer, we got to stop using the word dog whistle.
Yeah.
These are
And
megaphone calls for violence.
And Malcolm, let's talk about how, in many ways, all these stories are connected. The New York Times bombshell that, we've all known that he's always been a fraud and a grifter and had to be bailed out. But this is exactly what, where then Russia comes in. He was either bailed out for his disastrous business decisions his whole life by his daddy, and then by Russia. By Russia, and here we are. And the headline I'm reading today. Here's how Trump could use the Kavanaugh investigation as a blueprint to squash the Mueller probe. Could the White House's decision to place limits on what the FBI can investigate with respect to Kavanaugh serve as a blueprint for crushing Bob Mueller's probe? They're talking about he's delayed his meeting with Rosenstein, right, till after the Kavanaugh implosion or whatever it's going to be. And then it says if Rosenstein's removed, Trump could very easily cripple the investigation.
It's pretty clear that that Lindsey Graham is auditioning for Attorney General. I mean, all these insane, hateful, Trump-like things that he's suddenly come up with in the last week. That man just spits on the grave of John McCain.
Yeah.
And he's decided that he's going to be Attorney General, and so that, I don't know, he can have his cotillion or something after that. But he has just moved so far to the right that he's leading the charge for the destruction of all of this.
Yeah, who's so great is Steve Schmidt on this, Republican strategist. John McCain's campaign manager is just brutal, as he should be, about Lindsey Graham. I mean, he made some analogy too about, he said Lindsey Graham's like a man that doesn't have the upper body strength to control a motorcycle, so he's always in the sidecar, and just like how despicable he is. And
it is despicable. But again, this is all very dangerous. I do not traffic in conspiracy theory. I cannot stand it when I see all these people out there
recovering from your birthday.
Yes.
Non-type stuff that the right does. But now we are seeing evidence of where this path is going. And we're starting to see, I was in London yesterday, and we talked about the special relationship between the United States and Britain was actually an intelligence relationship where we were breaking the German codes. And that's where I was, out at Bletchley Park, going to see the old Enigma machines. And the Brits were a little surprised at that. They thought, well, we thought it was Lend-Lease. Our relationship starts off with the secrets that we trade. And the Brits helped us on the Trump conspiracy, which is what it is. And now I'm in France, the first nation that came to assist us when the American experiment was not even starting.
Lafayette.
And that's right, the Marquis de Lafayette, the Rochambeau, and all the others who came to our defense, and some who gave their lives. So we are at a point where every factor of American history, which led to our greatness, is under attack by people who are fundamentally and happily ignorant about it, and led by a man who is going to go down as the most dangerous person in American history. I'm telling you, let me tell you, the Robert E. Lee and the Confederate leaders have nothing on Donald Trump, because they had an intellectual basis for what they were doing. It was financial. They all knew it, but they believed in it. This man believes only in the destruction of the Constitution and the norms that we spent our entire lives fighting for. And with that, we are just going to have to stand up and mobilize. I've been saying that for months now. And I understand that there's activities underway for people to go out on the 3rd of November.
Yep, March for Democracy. Yep.
You march to save democracy. You have to. I met people last night who were out yesterday afternoon in London at London School of Economics and a few of the other universities, finding American citizens and registering them. They said they registered 180 people yesterday,
Yep.
including school kids who had just graduated high schools that were dual British citizens. Their, vote abroad organization is out there. Voteabroad.org is a huge factor in that.
Yeah.
But we all have to understand right now, everyone listening to the sound of my voice, we are 34 days possibly from the end of the American experiment. And I'm not joking. All right.
Yep.
I'm not getting all shouty because it's fun. We are in trouble, and you need to take it to heart and spread that message and mobilize.
Yep. Malcolm, let me ask you real quick a couple other. Mueller investigating the hacking against anti Trump conservatives, right? Starting with Sherry
Yeah.
Jacobus. I mean, I kid said earlier, it really is like this horror film where every piece is finally coming together, right? Where and obviously we've heard about the shouting match between John Brennan and Mitch McConnell. I mean,
That's
I
right.
think we're going to find out more about the hacking of the RNC and of Republicans and why they are complicit in all this.
Well, I think we will, and you know what? But that is going to be so far down the totem pole. I've said this from the beginning. I'm the first person in the media to say this is not an espionage case; it's a RICO case. This is a very large, corrupt influence organization. It is essentially a mafia organization, and I said this to you many times on this show when Mueller sat down on day one, the first guy he hired was the chief of the Treasury Financial Crimes Division, then hired 16 more of the top financial crime prosecutors in America. All of these financial tentacles, personal tentacles, Russian backed dirty tricks teams, and data management teams, and all of the Hillary Clinton disruption teams, and hackers going after Republicans who dare oppose Trump. It will all come together into
Yep.
what is now,
And
with what little we know, the greatest conspiracy in the history of the United States.
And Malcolm, every moment from everything Hillary Clinton said, everything Obama said, coming back to haunt us now with this New York Times story about him being a tax cheat, all of it.
Ugh.
Including this. You remember when Obama said this?
He's a jackass.
Yeah, Kanye West is a jackass.
Yeah.
He was right about
That
everything.
guy. Oh my God, Kanye West. Obviously, you guys must have seen me tweeting the other morning.
You said
It was-
he just called for the reinstatement of slavery in America. Think before you speak. Read before you think.
Yeah, Fran Leibowitz' old phrase, right? The man is a moron. And if
Aye.
any of you are giving your money to him, you are giving your money to Trump. I have never seen a more ignorant person. Well, that's not true. Donald Trump is the most ignorant person. But you have guys like him, these right wingers like Candace Owens, who call themselves African American, who literally deny. The man's so stupid. He
Yeah.
doesn't understand that when you repeal the 13th Amendment, we all go back to the pre 1865 status known as slaves
Yeah.
and indentured servants. And he thought, oh, I just thought it left people out of jail. How dumb can these
Aye, aye,
people
aye.
be? You have to shout them down. You have to calm them down. And you got to stop buying his records
All right.
because you are empowering an idiot.
All right, and you got to and you have also a good tip. Vote early if you can. Use your time
That's
to register more people, get more
right
people
now.
to the polls. Yep.
Vote early now. If you're out of your country, you're out of your university, put that mail-in ballot, right? Absentee ballot in right now.
You get
And don't
stamps
forget
on
to go
Amazon. Amazon.
That's right.
Amazon. That's where you can
And-
buy stamps. College
That's,
kids.
and that's a
Saving
safe means to
democracy.
vote, right? We can trust
Yeah,
that.
that's paper.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
the only votes that might actually get counted.
Yeah.
And don't forget to go to savingdemocracymarch.org
Yep.
and start registering. The march is anywhere. Any person who wears blue on 3 November, you are the march.
Yep.
Do it.
Yep. Do it. Malcolm, fly safe home to me. Love you.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye.